Commissioners, 9:30.
The council.
Good morning, everyone. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone. The prayer today is, Dear Lord, thank you for fresh grace and a week full of promise. Lead me in your ways and fill my heart with your love and joy. Help me see others as you see them. Guide every decision, response, effort, and conversation I have for you in your glory. Amen.
Morning, Commissioners. Morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Does anyone in the audience wish to make a comment on an item on the agenda? Okay. Moving on to item number 2. On July 31st, 2026, I amended for Community and Economic Development the motion from July 23rd, 2026 to adjust the effective date to read, accepted the resignation of Elaine Malkamaki, Project Manager number 1411, to be effective July 31st, 2026. On July 31st, for the Department of Water Resources, I accepted the resignation of Norman Ray Duffield, Jr., mechanic, number 2310, to be effective August 12th, 2026. I also granted permission to advertise for the position of mechanic, number 2310, internally for a period of 5 working days. If there are no qualified candidates presently employed with Water Resources, then advertise externally until the position is filled. And finally, on July 31st, I concurred with the Chardon Township trustees in not requesting a hearing on the liquor license being requested by Chardon Petroleum Incorporated, located at 11114 Chardon Road, Chardon, Ohio, OCT TRFO 1001-8022-1. And that is all for item number 2.
Thank you. Item number 3, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes for the meeting of March 10th, 2026.
I move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey. Aye. Commissioner Ward.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's correct.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm here to request a supplemental appropriation to adjust salaries in my office due to, I don't want to say it's a perfect storm, but it's due to our success. For some time, the Treasury has had the luxury of having a very large delinquent tax collection, and we have done a very good job of collecting delinquent taxes. That creates a little bit of a fund, which we can in turn use to pay for collection in the office for salaries. Tax delinquencies are down in our office because of the success of my office. And in doing so, some of the salaries, we were going to be running out of the delinquent tax collection fund in less than a year. So it was appropriate to make some adjustments in our salaries paid for by the county commissioners. At the same time, Ms. Hurley, who is present with me, her previous business experience allowed us to create a wage study for our office in comparison to other offices within the county and also other county treasuries. So I am asking you for a supplemental authorization out of the general fund of $60,625. We're also going to change our policies for using delinquent tax to amend it, and that fund will be allowed to grow, if only a little bit, so it will continue to pay for 3 salaries, which it has been doing in the past. You have all received our wage study. This is exemplary work provided by Ms. Hurley, and frankly, I'm very lucky that we have her on the team. She's been a wonderful addition, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Ms. Hurley, could you just talk a little bit about the wage study? Just give us a high-level overview of how you conducted it and your findings thereof.
Okay, I reached out to every treasurer, and I received the information sporadically. I put it together, and the first page will explain that. I went through 7 counties, but I pared it down because Geauga County is just way off the charts, so don't even look at that. And then I gave each position, employee's position, a number, so that then I could create charts and be able to take their pay rates high and low and average those out. So I'm working with the averages. I'm not working at the high end or the low end.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I went through each county. And then after I did that, Caroline asked me to go through all the county offices in Geauga County and compare those salaries. So I did that at the end of the presentation. And if you'll see, if you look at the 5th page, and I'm sorry I didn't put page numbers on there, but you'll see our bar chart, and in the second one down, cashier, deputy treasurers, you can see that our office is highlighted in yellow, and you can see the difference in the salaries for that position by county. And we currently have, I think, 5 employees that are in that position. And they work as a team. And they balance to the penny every day. And they're responsible for millions of dollars. I think they do an excellent job, from my opinion, coming in green, watching them, and learning what they do. So, but that's how I did the wage study.
As we are just finishing tax collection today at 4 o'clock, in case you're wondering, we, for whatever reason, we get an inordinate amount of cash. I hate cash. It is nothing but trouble, but we are required to accept it. And for the past several years, we collect over $1 million in cash each and every day. Thankfully, the sheriff is kind enough to provide secure transportation of that cash. In the old days, somebody in the office would put the cash in a bag.
I thought you were going to say horse and buggy.
I've been here a long time, but I haven't been here that long. But now we do it through a secured, locked banker's bag, and it's delivered by the sheriff's people every day. There are rare times, if it's my policy, if we have over $25,000 in cash in the office, I want it delivered to the bank that day. Luckily, I haven't delivered cash in many years. I used to, and my previous sheriff friend said, well, Chris, just get a gun. I said, no, I'm not ever going to do that. We have deputies that have guns and proper training. So it would be much easier for us to not have cash, but that's just the nature of the beast. But, you provided COVID monies for us to provide a more secure workspace, which is greatly appreciated. It enhances the professionalism and security of the office.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
Yesterday, we took in $50,000 in cash. It was a very busy day. It always is a collection, my understanding. I've been through 2 right now, and it's nonstop. It's a lot to balance to that every day. Each person is taking in $15,000. It's a lot of money in cash. I think we did $6.5 million yesterday that we collected.
And then as far as the wage study, did you look at if, education was required for, or certifications for any of these positions, or experience, or you just sort of looked at the range for folks that were called clerk?
I looked at job descriptions that I obtained from some of the counties. Now, some of them aren't comparable. Portage County is via job description. The others really aren't as comparable because they shift their responsibilities. But this team of people can do what each other can do.
Yeah.
They can back each other up. So they're highly trained, and they've been there for 15 to 20 years. Mm-hmm. So it's like a well-oiled machine. If one's out, the other can pick up. The office always runs. It always balances to the penny. and they can cover for each other, which is worthy.
Yeah.
You don't retain people nowadays, like, a lot of businesses
Yeah,
don't.
no, for sure. That's hard. And Chris, why now? Why now are we looking at this big increase? I think Caroline said last week that a wage study hasn't been done since 2005. So what's prompting this now?
I did not want to do it during the budget cycle. That would have put an awful lot of pressure on both my office and your office. So I decided to postpone it until after you'd gone through the budget cycle and just do a supplemental. The important thing is we're talking about adjusting salaries for 6 different people to bring the entire office more in line. These recommendations, I think, are extremely fair, and considering part of the problem is we do a very good job of collecting taxes and also collecting delinquent taxes. If the delinquent tax amount were to continue as high as it does now, I wouldn't be here. But because we're so good at collecting taxes, delinquent taxes specifically, that amount is getting smaller and smaller. It impacts both my office and the prosecutor's office because he and I share in the delinquent tax fee.
But I mean, looking at these individual increases, we're looking at percent increases going from, according to my calculations, 22.9% to 32.5%. I'm not saying anyone doesn't deserve those, but those are very large numbers, I think, for a taxpayer to stomach.
Several years ago, when the county did their wage study, we tried to take advantage of that. But because we are so small and we handle so much cash, we're a little finance microcosm. And in looking at the pay rates for my office's colleagues throughout the county, we were at the very bottom of the barrel. It was embarrassing. And I'm very proud of my office. We are a lean, mean tax collection machine. And I think it's very important that they be paid their fair wage.
Yeah, I just think that average of 30-ish% increase, those are big numbers to talk about. I would personally be more comfortable, because this is kind of like a big step, doing more of a ladder approach. I'm just throwing out numbers. For example, maybe we do a 10% increase this year and then reevaluating in coming years. That would be my suggestion. I don't know, fellow commissioners, what do you gentlemen have to say about this?
There's probably been many years where some people have been underpaid for years and years and years. So at this point, I'm okay with your request.
By no means does this catch up everybody to where they should be, but it is a step in the right direction. And I think it's important to understand, because we are no longer having the luxury of a large delinquent tax collection fee, those monies are under my direction, and we were using those, but because we are so good at collecting, that fund is diminishing. And there's nothing I can do about it, because we're good at what we do.
My concern would be this. I don't really care for the approach of, like, your people are bringing in all this money and to kind of say we're going to base it on that. That would be like the sheriff coming up here and saying they're writing 100 tickets a day and they're bringing in all of this money and we're going to give them based on that. They're doing their job based on what is required of the collection process. And I think that part of the situation too is that you have the collection rate that you have of success is because we're fortunate with Geauga County that you have accountable residents and homeowners and business owners that pay their taxes. I think that has to be also realize I give the credit to the people that live and work in this county. But I struggle with it. You know, this was not brought up during the, you know, budget hearings as far as to allocate these dollars, but I think this just sends the wrong message also, I just think that this has a major ripple effect. And I just think that this, you know, is one of those things that should have kind of been looked at throughout the years to say, you know, I know that, you know, perfect example was you know, your chief deputy was way underpaid for so long. And the bottom line is this, we have good people that come here to work, and sometimes they're, you know, willing to work for less because they're just committed and dedicated people. And this is by no means is a shot to your employees, because I've you know, I know that I've heard Carolyn rave about them all the time, you know, that what a tremendous staff that you have. But I'm just going to, you know, call it the way this is I think that there's been a failure to not maintain this a little bit better on a yearly basis of being able to do this. I can't support these kind of increases because it's sending the wrong message. And I can tell you, you know, doing this, you know, I haven't been here as long as you have, Chris, but I've been here long enough to know that we put somebody getting a 30% or 35% pay raise. Next week, you know, Amy's going to have a black and blue year from being on the phone, getting calls from everybody calling to say that they want to come in for pay raises. And I think that I agree with what Commissioner Brakey is saying. I think that I would support something of a gradual step, but this is just a little bit extreme. And, you know, as you know, we're going to be also dealing with, you know, another bargaining unit that's coming into play too, and I'm sure that a contract and wage negotiations come into that. And I'm not I don't feel comfortable to just, you know, to move forward with this kind of a number. And I don't think, once again, I want to repeat it, not a shot at you, not a shot at any of your employees. It's just the process that I just think that it's just a little bit excessive, and I can't do it.
Chris, I just wanted to clarify something. You said something about giving 6 employees. Okay, Caroline's saying it's 5. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what my sheet was showing, because you're not included. You have 6 employees, but Caroline would not be included in the increase. Is that, okay?
Yes.
All right, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something with that. But I mean, to Commissioner Spitoleri's point, I agree. You know, we've been talking about this with fees and fines and so forth, you know, with water resources, the building department and so forth, where folks kind of flatline their fees, and then all of a sudden we realize, well, we're not really recouping our cost, and then we have to have these huge steps that we approve. And I feel like salaries are sort of the same, that should be something we're reevaluating more frequently, so that we don't have to be talking about 30% increases. Commissioner Spitaleri, what is your suggestion for next steps?
My request would be this, is if you would feel comfortable, Chris, to do this, how about rather than taking, I mean, if you guys wanted to take a vote, I'm fine with that. You know my position on that. But rather than taking a vote and having the potential of this thing just dying, why don't we just try to regroup and come back with a different, you know, like a little bit of a different plan, and have it so that we can figure something out. We want to definitely, you know, I do think that looking at the wages of what we're at with all of these other counties, and you have a good argument there, 100%. But I just think that just to tear the Band-Aid off and make it right and bring everybody up to speed right now is probably not, the optics of it is bad. But let's try to work together, and maybe instead of us voting on this, let's table this until next week or the following week, come up with a different formula that we can do and a different plan, and then basically we can, I think at the end of the day, everybody wins, if you guys feel comfortable with that.
Well, I'm willing to compromise and have some kind of step program, maybe 2-step or 3-step to get in line with other counties and things like that. So okay with going back to the drawing board?
Yeah, we
Hammer
could
this
do
out.
that. I mean, I think the other thing we could do is just approve, for example, 8% or 10% or whatever today for those 5 employees. That would be the other thing we could do. Do you have a preference, Chris, of how we proceed?
I'm here to advocate for my people.
We understand.
They have been, it's embarrassing how little they are paid compared to their peers within the county and also our neighboring counties. If we can come to a 10% immediate increase for them for now with a second step in, I don't know, is it 6 months or is it next quarter? I just don't know. But I'm here to advocate for my people.
I understand.
And frankly, again, if our delinquent tax collection were sailing merrily along and we were creating all of these extra monies, I wouldn't be here. But because of their success, our delinquent tax collection fund is diminishing. It's a two-edged sword. It's wonderful to have these extra revenues that are paid into both the prosecutor's office and my office. But as that fund dwindles, the people being paid out of that, they have been a bargain to the commissioner's budget, but now it's time to pay the piper.
Is there some kind of motion on this topic today?
I think if you're not opposed to it, can you give me a week to possibly, work with you guys and Carolyn and Adrian? Let's just, and next week, let's try to have just a kind of an organized plan so that it's all, it's transparent, there's no guessing, and everybody kind of knows where they stand then, and including your employees. Like, I don't want to commit where all of a sudden we say in another quarter we're jumping, another 8%. That just, I think that we just, let's just take a minute to kind of look at this and work within our, with it. Let's just basically sit down and try to talk this through to see what is the best way to do this. I mean, that's how I would feel. I want to help you. There's no doubt about it, and there's definitely a need. It's just we're trying to correct what has so many others have come in small pieces throughout the years to try to whether it was merit increases or whatever to be able to bring it, but it's never been to this amount unless it was a situation where someone was replacing another position and stepping up in a promotion, that base rate was say $6 more an hour or something. But every dollar basically is over $2,000. So when you're looking at a $5 raise, you're going to be over $10,000 pay raise. And I just think that the optics of that and really looking at what the average taxpayer out there, how many of them are getting $10,000 pay bumps, I'm kind of conscious to that, and I just don't want to send the wrong message, and I hope I'm not upsetting anybody here, because it's not intended for that. I just want to do what makes sense and what's right.
Okay, that sounds fine. And when you say Carolyn, you mean Caroline, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, just, we have different names. It's close though, so. We're not doing any open meetings violations, I just wanted to be clear.
Yeah.
I make a motion to table this item number 4.
Second.
Okay. Any more discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeVore.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Sir, what was your name, Chris?
Hitchcock.
Who's that guy?
I'm the county treasurer.
Thank you. Your first name, ma'am?
Oh, good
Lori.
job.
L-O-U-L-O-R-I?
Nice.
L-O-R-I.
Thank you.
Very good.
Okay. Financials.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Adrian Gorton with the Commissioner's Office.
The attachment.
So, as with last week, the supplemental is in the financials,
For the
for
treasurer's
what you
office.
just discussed.
Okay.
Yes, so,
So we'll have to, if we want to approve the financials, we'll do it without that supplemental.
correct, so
Okay.
it's, those are journal numbers, because we did do new journal numbers from last week. 2026-2571 and 2026-2572 would represent the supplementals requested by the treasurer's office. So I will review the financials other than those supplementals. So today's financials include a supplemental in the Commissioners Building Improvement Fund 24-hour areas account to cover the contract certification and encumbrance for the Safety Center roof upgrade project. There's also a supplemental from the Common Pleas Court in their general fund travel account for any upcoming travel. And I did want to just make mention of this one. This was a supplemental in the general fund to the Common Pleas travel account that was submitted by the Common Pleas Court. I was not aware of this supplemental request in the general fund. Generally, we kind of control those supplementals because of it being in the general fund. So I did want to make special mention of that one then for all of you. So, and I
that's for
will
the-
be,
That's the general division of the Common Pleas Court?
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
I'll be reaching out to them because sometimes what I like them to do is to contact me, and instead of doing a supplemental in the general fund, I like to use the appropriations that are in the general fund to possibly do a transfer as opposed to a supplemental. So I just need to, I think they have a new financial person.
Okay.
So I just need to establish that protocol
Yeah,
with her,
makes
so.
sense.
Among the encumbrances are travel encumbrances from the Common Pleas Court to attend the Ohio Association of Magistrates Fall Conference, and from Job and Family Services to attend the 2026 Public Children's Services Association of Ohio Annual Conference, which are both being held in Columbus, Ohio. There's also a then and now from the Juvenile Court to the Geauga County Sheriff's Office for a BCI web check that was not previously encumbered. Among the vouchers is $58,500 from the Auditor's Office to ESRI Incorporated for the annual licensing agreement for GIS mapping software and support, and that amount is the same as last year. There is also $31,127 from Water Resources to Workman Industrial Services Incorporated for shutoff valve installations and the removal and installation of pipe work at the Laurel Springs Pump Station.
So I'll move to approve the financials for August 4th, less journal number 2026-2571 and 2026-2572. Is that
Yes,
correct? All
yes.
right.
Second?
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spillier. Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Thank you very much. The next item here is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve an increase for the engagement agreement with Masnick, Raskin, and Ryder, LPA, for representation concerning the defense of the mandamus and, I'm not very good at these words, but prosidendo actions pending in the 11th District Court of Appeals, to wit, this is the State of Ohio versus Judge Grandel and the Board of County Commissioners, which is case number 25G0028 pursuant to revised code 309.09C in the amount of $10,000 for a new not-to-exceed amount of $25,000 without prior approval from the board.
I did ask Adrian what we have spent on this representation so far. Adrian, do you have those numbers in front of you? I do if you do not.
I do not, no.
Okay, so Adrian's response to me was, he said, so far with Masnick, we have spent $9,384.34, which leaves a balance on the original $15,000 contract of $5,615.66. We currently have a bill for $5,722.05 that we could not pay, which is the reason for the increase.
Correct. Yeah, and I did reach out to the law firm to just get an estimate from them as to what they felt would be required to get this to the end. And they
How much was the
requested
bill that can't be
$10,000.
paid?
It was $5,700. We have $5,600 left on the contract.
But we're still in motion
Yes,
process, right?
Yes, yes.
I'll move to approve item number 6.
Okay, second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote.
So just to be,
Go ahead.
so just to be clear, so the original one, we were at 15, and this would go to 25. Would that be the 25 including, would it be an additional 25, or would it be?
No, that would take the total value of the contract to
Yeah,
25,000.
saying We're
Okay.
increasing it 10,000, it says.
Correct.
Okay.
For a new
Yes.
not to exceed of 25.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll,
Any more discussion? Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
And then the next item is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and authorize the President of the Board to execute the request for partial payment number 36 for Infinity Construction Company Incorporated for the Geauga County Courthouse expansion, GMP Phase 1 and 2, in the amount of $53,762.60.
And these have been reviewed by the appropriate parties and.
And approved by all, yes.
Okay, very good. I'll move to approve item number 7.
second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
And then the next one here is the commission, this is the partial release of retainage that they had come in and requested a few weeks back. So this is going to be, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and authorize the President of the Board to execute the request for partial payment number 37 for Infinity Construction Company Incorporated for the Geauga County Courthouse expansion, GMP Phase 1 and 2, partial release of retainage in the amount of $416,311.44. And this takes the total value of the contract down to $40,000, just to wrap up, I believe, a couple of the remaining punch list items.
When you say the value of the contract, like that's the retainage is 40,000?
Yeah, that's basically what's left of the retainage.
Got it. And Amy, could you just give us a real high-level overview of what sort of things remain that to be done in the?
I don't have the list in front of me, but I
that's
can
all
go
right.
off memory. It's very short list. I would say the majority of the items that are left are furniture related, just because of the shipping times. You know, if you have something that's damaged, it takes 6 to 8 weeks for it to come in. Plus, there was a merger or a buyout of APG was purchased by American Interiors. So there was, you know, a little bit of a delay there with that acquisition by American Interiors. So change in personnel, that type of thing. So the majority of our punch list is furniture related. I would say if I had off the top of my head, less than 10 punch list items, which none of them are major. And then we do have our final walkthrough in December, on December 10th, which is our 11th month walkthrough. Our monthly meetings are down to once a month now, which involve all the elected officials that occupy the courthouse, as well as their main support staff. And those were weekly, and then we went down to once a month. So just as a demonstration that there's not a lot
And you feel
left.
that 40,000 that would remain in retainage is sufficient for
Yes.
the punch list items? that
I
were
do.
made? Okay. I'll make a motion to approve item number 8.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What was your name, sir?
Adrian
Adrian.
Gorton,
Good morning. Shane Hajar with the Engineer's Office,
Could you spell that for the gentleman that,
if necessary, yes.
Okay.
Hajjar.
he's got his pen going, so
Okay.
that's a hard one, just to go by Bodie's.
Item number 9 is the County Engineer's Office requesting the Board approve and execute change order number 1 and final, decreasing the contract with Grade Line Incorporated for the replacement of the Riverview Drive Bridge, structure 380-0031 in Bainbridge Township, in the amount of $4,024 even.
I move to approve.
Second.
Any questions? I have one.
Yes, sir.
Now, is this different than the Pettibone Bridge?
It is. There's two bridges. This is, the Pettibone Bridge is on Pettibone Road, which is a county road. This is one of our bridges that is on a township road. It does have a Ohio Public Works grant of $200,000 that was used to help cover the costs. And we're doing the final change order, and we came in $4,000 under budget.
Great. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much.
Jane.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Linda Crombie with the Planning Commission.
I'm sorry, your last name?
Crombie, Crombie. The Planning Commission is requesting the board approve a waiver of policy and approve the full reimbursement for Allison Cobus Havel for material supplies, including sales tax that was purchased for the Farmland Preservation Plan Public Forum in the amount of $276.08. The amount specifically for sales tax is $17.43. So as commissioners know, we held the Farmland Public Forum in July, and we had to order some supplies to facilitate that forum. And the Amazon platform had better pricing on quite a few of the items. And then also one of the items that Amazon had a better selection than Staples, because we normally order through Staples. So it was a one-time occurrence. We were we weren't necessarily under a time crunch, but we felt that the pricing was better. So again, the county doesn't pay sales tax, so this is a request to pay this full bill, including the sales tax.
I do think that some of the other departments have Amazon accounts, right?
Right, we had gone through the Department of Aging, so this was Ms. Cobus Hable's personal account. We just didn't think about it at the time.
I see.
We just ordered it.
Okay.
We did go through the Department on Aging one time in the past because they have a business account through Amazon. And then we had to return something, so it was kind of a pain. I felt like we took up more time of the Department on Aging than we should have. But we definitely won't do this again. I did talk, the staff talked to Mr. Gorton, the finance manager, and we are aware of this in the future.
Okay, very good. I'll move to approve item number 10.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Linda.
Morning, Commissioner.
Morning.
Liz Rubino with the Maintenance Department. I have three.
Again, your name, I'm sorry.
Liz Rubino,
How do you spell your last name?
Rubino.
Thank you.
And I have the three on the agenda. First one is, Maintenance Department is requesting the board approve and execute the service contract agreement with Tim Frank Septic Tank Cleaning to perform a sewer hydro jetting service at various Geauga County locations as directed per the maintenance director for a 2-year period effective August 4th, 2026, in the amount not to exceed $7,500.
I move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Next one is, the Maintenance Department is requesting the board approve and execute the service contract with Gardner Service Company, LLC, Continental Fire and Security to provide inspections and maintenance on the Novak 1230 fire suppression system at the Geauga County office buildings per the maintenance director for a 3-year period effective August 4th in the amount not to exceed $10,000.
I move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley. Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
And the next one is, the Maintenance Department is requesting the board approve and execute the service contract agreement with Fire Protection Solution to provide inspections, repairs, testing, maintenance, and emergency services of the sprinkler systems in the Geauga County Courthouse, the Opera House, County Home, Patterson Center, Courthouse Annex, in the Geauga County Office Building per the Maintenance Director for a 3-year period effective August 4th, 2026, in the amount not to exceed $20,000.
I move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thanks, Liz.
Charles Tkach, TKACH, with the Maintenance Department. I have items number 14 through 17 on the agenda. The first one is a change order for the generator installation at the senior center, at the West Geauga Senior Center. This is due to Enbridge needs to change out the gas meter. They were not able to give us a date until, I think it was 8 to 12 weeks out. So we had to delay the project. Since we have submitted this, I learned yesterday that they are able to make September 19th.
So on September 19th, they'll change out the gas meter. The generator's already installed, so it just needs a startup after that. So item number 14 is the Maintenance Department is requesting the board approve and execute change order number 3, increasing the contract by extending the dates of completion with VL Chapman Electric Incorporated for the West Geauga Senior Center MSI wastewater treatment plant dedicated generator installation by adding 119 days to the date of the substantial completion through November 13th, 2026, and final completion through November 30th, 2026, due to lead time on the larger gas meter required for the project.
I just have one comment, which is I like how you always include like the email correspondence with the vendor about why it's going to be delayed. I think that's very helpful.
Thank you.
So I'll move to approve item number 14.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Okay, and then the next 2 items are related to the Safety Center roof upgrade project. We have received the bids in, and we are ready to recommend a bid award. We had received 6 bids. One of them was in excess of the 20% owner's estimate. So that's the first item on the list. Item number 15, the Maintenance Department is requesting the board reject the bid from Architectural Siding, Trim, and Roofing Incorporated for the Safety Center roof upgrade project as the bid received exceeds the estimate by more than 20% in accordance with ORC 153.12.
I move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Okay, and then item 16 is the actual bid award. After assessing the remaining bids, the Maintenance Department is requesting the board award the bid to Warren Roofing and Insulating LLC for the Safety Center roof upgrade project in the amount of $3,113,985. That's $2,920,600 as the base bid and $193,385 as owner's contingency, as they represented the lowest and best bid.
So Chuck, I mean, I know we've had extensive discussions about this already, but for folks that maybe are just tuning in for the first time today, could you give an overview on this project, why we need a new roof and so forth?
So for the past approximately 10 years, the roof has been leaking in various areas. We've done some patchwork, we've done some repair work, but it continues to get worse and worse. And of course, the roof is 22 years old, so it's time for a replacement. Fortunately, as we did the engineering on it, only 2 of the sections required a full tear-off. 2 of the other sections were just an overlay because the insulation was still in good shape for the other 2 sections. So this project is really a complete tear-off of about 40,000 square foot of roofing, and then the remaining 20,000 is an overlay.
I would hate to see the pricing on a full tear-off. This is bad enough. Can you remind me I know there was the option A versus the option B.
Yeah.
Can you remind me what those options mean?
So option A is we had intended to do the full project this year. We had a bit of a delay with the state getting approval for the final project, but we finally got that approval. It was deep into the year, so we don't believe we can finish the roof this year. So option A was to start the roof this fall. They would have to name the sections that would be completed this fall, and then the remaining ones would be early next spring. Option B was you'd do everything next year. You have less time to do it in though.
Okay, got it. All right, so we're doing the option A, right?
We are doing
Okay,
option A.
that's what I thought.
And they're going to do a tear-off on what we call section 4, which is the high area of the roof. That'll be a full tear-off done this year. If they can get more done this year, they will, but then the remaining will be 2027.
All right.
And how long is the warranty?
Warranty is for 30 years.
Okay.
Oh, well, that'll be better than 22 years, right? I'll move to approve item number 16.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Okay, and then the last item I have is item number 17. This is, we are finally ready to send out for statements of qualifications for design professionals to serve as a criteria engineer for the Geauga County Safety Center Security Console Upgrade Project. The actual submissions will be received by 4 o'clock on Thursday, August 27th. Notice of this request for statements of qualifications will be advertised on August 7th, August 14th, and on the county website.
Well, I know a lot of work went into getting us this far. I thought the board, the information you gave us in the board packet all looked excellent. And this is a project that I think the safety center, the sheriff desperately need. So I'll make a motion to approve item number 17.
Second?
Any discussion? Call for a vote?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Mark Jimson, and Deputy County Administrator. Jimison.
Thank you.
This is just for discussion, bringing up the, seeking some guidance from the Commissioners regarding a bid for services.
Mark, before we do that one, let's do 18, which is the probate juvenile, yeah, with
The what?
Lake County.
Oh,
It's-
okay.
Yep, yeah, let's
Okay.
do that one first.
Okay. Sorry,
all right.
wrong subject.
That's okay, there's a couple today.
Commissioners, we have a contract presented to you for signature. You'll see on the signature line that the prosecutor has signed it, and the probate judge, Judge Grindell, has also signed it. This contract's already been in existence previously. It's a contract with Lake County to provide a place to put our juveniles who are ordered into detention. The new contract, the reason for the amended contract is Lake County has developed a new program called the Lake Effect Program. Not everyone will qualify for this program. It's children who, by recommendation of probation or the judge, believe that the children have propensity to benefit from counseling and sort of a reward program. It's a whole curriculum, and not for everyone, but Lake County has developed this program. None of the fees changed from the previous contract that the commissioners are already in contract with Lake County. They flatlined everything. The only change to this contract is it includes the Lake Effect Program, which is this new program. So if there's any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Well, and just to specify, when I was reading through it, I was a little confused about what the Lake Effect Program is, but it's not just children that are dealing with substance issues, for example. It's just anyone that could perhaps benefit from cognitive behavior therapy. It seems like it's a more broad net.
Yes, and the services even range to interaction with parents who
Yes, I saw
might
that.
need some training on how to interact with their children, with the problems that they have. And a large part of it is sort of a rewards program, which is interesting. I visited a facility, and there's a lot of opportunity that most people in detention don't have access to. So there's counseling available, and then some other benefits if they earn them.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say as far as the agreement overall, I mean, credit where it's due. This agreement is saving taxpayers a ton of money. I don't get credit for this. This went in, with the other commissioners, the prior board. So, not everything that happened before me I agree with, but this is one where this was an excellent decision, gentlemen, I think, to enter this. I was looking at the numbers from the probate court's annual report. In 2022, we paid approximately $307,000 to the Portage Geauga Detention Center. In 2023, that number went up to $467, and then from there it's gone down. 2024 was a transition year. That was approximately $300,000 that was paid to that detention center, about $10,000 to Lake County. And then last year, it was about $82,000 went to the Lake County Detention Center. So this is saving taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars every year by entering into this agreement. So it's a huge savings.
That's a good point, Commissioner. After touring the facility, you just think of the cost of running a kitchen to feed, the children there, the counseling, security, 24/7 monitoring, and just maintenance of the building, substantial costs.
Yeah, absolutely. And luckily, we're not really sending that many kids there. So to have more of an ownership interest in a detention center probably doesn't make sense as a result. The other questions I had asked prior to the meeting, if the other commissioners are interested in it, is so there's a $250,000 annual cap. And I just had the question of who's monitoring this and like what happens after we reach that cap. And the answer is Adrian would be watching it just as he monitors any cap. And then we do have a relationship with Richland, right? Not Richmond.
Correct.
Yeah. Richland Juvenile Detention Center, which we have not used so far, but there is that agreement in place. So to the extent, and the agreement does allow Lake County to decline any detainee for any reason, which makes sense. And I was kind of like, well, what happens then? And then it's the same answer, that the detainee could go to Richland instead.
This is truly an example of partnership with neighboring counties. Observing the relationship between the probation department here and then the detention facility is exceptional. The level of communication they have and knowledge working back and forth together. So great savings and a good partnership there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I'll make a motion to approve item number 18.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote.
Commissioner Spiller. Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
You can hang out.
Number 19 is simply requesting the board approve and execute Resolution 26-120, establishing the location and time of the September 3rd, 2026 regular meeting of the Commissioners to be held at 10 o'clock a.m. at the Great Geauga County Fair on the Junior Fair stage.
When is our current meeting scheduled for that week? Do we have one on Tuesday or? No. Okay, so we already had it scheduled. We just need to specify.
We just have to formally do the resolution because we're moving locations.
I understand.
Here to there.
I make a motion to approve item number 19.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote.
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes. And for anybody that's coming to the meeting at the fair, if they question you to buy a ticket, just tell them it's an open meeting and you're going to the commissioners meeting and they'll let you right in.
Do they have to go to the main gate or will any gate?
I think any gate will accommodate.
Okay, item 20, board discussion. Mark can come back up. There's a discussion with the commissioners on the Department of Aging's assistance with daily living program and some insurance requirements.
Okay, sorry I jumped the gun, Commissioners. It's Mark Jimison again, Deputy County Administrator. This is just trying to get a sense of from the commissioners before we get too far down the line on a bidding process. The subject matter is the assisted living program that is provided to elderly who can't do some basic functions. It helps them stay in their house, but still assists them with activities like bathing and getting dressed. Currently, we have contracts with 3 entities that provide this service. None of these entities, it is this program their primary source of business. This is a small portion of what these businesses do for their income. Historically, in our past contracts, there was an insurance requirement that was based on a time frame. So the insurance would cover while that contract was in effect. Versus an incident coverage that would exceed a time frame. So in the past, this has been raised as an issue that the preference.
Can I just clarify to make sure I understand? So when you say a time frame, so there could be an incident that happens and then someone sues, but they sue after that window, and then that wouldn't be covered from the
Correct.
policy. Is that what I'm understanding?
Exactly, Commissioner. And you see why the preference would be incident-based insurance coverage, because maybe a lawsuit is filed within a statute of limitations but exceeds the time limit of that contract. So obviously, the the sound advice would be to ask them to change their insurance coverage. Unfortunately, the providers that provide the service, their typical contract doesn't offer this insurance. So they would have to do something unique just to provide this service. And with it not being their money-making source of income, it's not worth their time. So Jessica, the director of Department on Aging, has sent out a feeler to try to find if other companies have that insurance. What would the current companies do if they were required to do that? And the response is they wouldn't provide the service. So the prosecutor's office has advised us that when we bid, that any person who doesn't provide, any company that does not provide this type of insurance, that they would be rejected from the bid and would be out. What I'm asking the commissioners is to save a step in the process of rebidding something, is if you would consider us at least soliciting all bids to see if we can find someone who offers that insurance, or if we don't, at least gives the commissioners an opportunity to decide whether they want to assume some risks to keep the program going. So just seeing, it would save us if we do a bid, don't have that limitation language in the bid of the insurance. We could say the preferred insurances in there, but not necessarily reject a bid, so that the commissioners would have all options available before they decide.
Can we just hear from Jessica about the importance of the program and so forth to the seniors in the community?
Sure.
Or whoever wants to, I didn't.
Sorry, I have Michelle Warren with me. Do you want to come up with me? Michelle Warren is our in-home services supervisor. I'm Jessica Bolt, B-O-A-L-T. So the Assistance with Daily Living program, it is an in-home services program where we contract with home care providers to provide personal care in homes for seniors who would be eligible to live in nursing home facilities. And the goal is to keep them in their homes as long as possible. Michelle, do you want to expand a little bit more upon that?
So they have a home health aide twice a week for 2 hours each time. And it is for, like Jessica said, it's for personal care. So bathing, dressing, things like that. If there's time left over, the caregiver they can run errands, run the vacuum, things like that, but they have to accept personal care every time the caregiver goes out. We contract with Home Instead, Cherished Companions, and Omen Family Living. We have wonderful relationships with those three agencies. It's just keeping the seniors independent in their homes as long as possible.
And those are the three agencies that responded to our bid and were awarded bids this go around. As we're preparing to go to bid, we may end up with more providers. We would love that. I think we've all seen in the healthcare industry, staffing is very, very difficult. Hard in nursing homes, difficult in assisted livings and home care. So the more individuals that couldn't be attracted to this program, the more individuals we can continually staff. The private pay wage for home care is $30 to $36 an hour. So that is quite a hardship for an individual to pay that out of pocket to be able to remain in their homes. So that's very difficult.
That was something I was going to ask. So is there an income requirement to participate in the program?
So there's not an income requirement to participate. However, if someone makes above 150% the federal poverty level, they do have to pay a copay to our agency. If someone makes 150% federal poverty level or below, they are a waiver client and they do not owe a copay. Now, also, if someone does meet passport waiver Medicaid guidelines, what we do is we try to get them that service. So Michelle has been very successful, probably
last year. For the first time since I have been with the agency last year, we were able to get passport waiver services into our county, which is Medicaid services to provide home care. So those are for income qualifying individuals, and they can provide up to how many hours of care in the home?
It they do an assessment and it would depend on their needs, but typically they get about 10 hours a week. of
So
home
could
health
people
care.
double dip in those two programs though?
No.
No, it's one or
No.
the other.
No, we
Okay.
write
Got it.
our guidelines very specific. If you qualify for passport, you need to enroll in that
Yeah,
program.
that makes sense.
Now, if you're on the wait list, we'll stay with you until you can get that provider.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And then just kind of talking generally about this liability issue, have we run into issues with this in the past? Because it sounds like this is historically the type of insurance that the
Sure.
providers have, correct?
Yeah, so
Okay.
they have what we call the claims made
Oh, right, claims made
coverage.
basis, yeah.
So the claims made coverage, that seems, from my understanding, to be more of a standard in the healthcare industry. And what our county typically likes to have with all of our vendors across the board is that occurrence-based coverage. So when an incident or event occurs, regardless of when you file a claim, whether it's 10 or 15 years later, 3 years later, it's covered if you go out of business as an entity. But most healthcare providers have that claims-made coverage. So typically, once we do this bid for this specific program, not our other programs, but this specific program, once we get to the contract period and get those certificates of insurance, we go, oh no, they have claims made. And they say, that's what we have. It would cost us $30,000 to change our policy just to do business with you, and you're 1% of our business. And, you know, they don't want to do that. So have we had issues? We have not been aware of any kind of lawsuit at all coming from our clients to our providers.
Find some, yeah.
Yeah, we have not been aware.
Yeah.
Does that mean it will never happen? Of course not. It does not mean that. We have been very fortunate with our providers. They have had continuous coverage. Usually it's, 1 year of insurance coverage, and the moment that it ends, they renew their coverage with their same insurance provider. And we're very diligent about that.
All right, thank you for that background, I appreciate it. I mean, I'm comfortable with, I guess, having the preference of what we want the insurance to say, but then not necessarily rejecting the bids that have the claims made coverage.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Is
good.
there any
Thank
other
you.
questions for the program or anything we can answer for you today?
No, thank you, I appreciate you giving all that explanation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other items for board discussion?
Is Mark looking for a motion to take, go out for bids?
No?
No. Okay.
Anything else for board discussion? Okay. Item 21, public comment. Those wishing to make a comment or ask a question on matters of concern, please raise your hand to be called upon. Begin by stating your full name and township or municipality, and you'll have up to 3 minutes to comment or ask a question, and are kindly asked to refrain from disorderly or disruptive conduct.
No, Howard signed up first, so
Should be good.
Hello, can you hear me?
Turn it off.
I cannot hear you, sorry. Thank you. Can you hear me?
yes.
Howard, South Russell Village. Who's going to take care of the pedestrians outside the fair this year? Has there ever been an accident, and who took care of the person that was hurt outside the fair? Here is a copy of the way the town looks. Burton Village, is the fair in Burton Township? Is it in Burton? It certainly is in Geauga County. Who's responsible for it? Does anybody know? Sheriff, who's responsible for the fairs outside?
The fair is in the village and the town.
And you take care of the responsibility inside the fair itself, correct?
Yeah.
Who takes care of the outside?
Well, ultimately, we're responsible for that too, but also Burton Police Department. We've asked the Fair Board to put up some additional signs signage across from Roniak's for that crossing that you've been concerned about for years, so hopefully that'll happen.
Are they ever going to paint white signs or white strips on the road like they do in the city of Burton?
That's a Burton Village question.
Have they ever been approached to do the work?
I don't know.
Who should approach them to do the work?
Howard
The
from
commissioners? Why don't you approach the Burton Village to put white lines down, especially across from Roniak, because this is where I go in and out, and I'm scared to death to come to the fair because of the cars going back and forth, and that's only on Thursday or Friday. The other days, it's much more important. And they park up at the old Berkshire High School, and then they walk down. And it's just unbelievable that there haven't been any more accidents than there has been. So who is going to do the work to take care of the pedestrians outside the fairgrounds during the period of the fair? Does anybody have an answer today? Hopefully the newspapers will bring it up and put it in their paper about finding an answer to the pedestrian problems at the fair. Look forward to being there in the future. Thank you very much.
Anybody else for public comment?
Hold on 1 minute. What was your name again, sir? Howard what?
Anonymous Howard.
Anonymous Howard.
Anonymous Howard.
Okay, hey, 1 second, okay? Give me a second.
Give me a second.
I'm not your enemy here. I'm trying to do
I'm
my
not
job,
yours either.
please, sir. Sir?
Who are you?
I'm the court reporter. I'm taking the minutes of this meeting, and I need your name.
For who?
For the county. I was hired by the county to record this meeting. I just need your name, sir.
Who hired you for the county?
Sir, I'm not here to answer your questions. Officer, can I have your name, please, that you spoke?
Scott Hildenbrand.
And your last name, sir? I'm sorry again.
Hildenbrand.
Hilden?
I'm sorry if I caught you.
Brand.
Thank you very much.
Anytime.
I apologize, commissioners.
That's okay. Anybody else for public comment?
You want me to come up there or use the mic back there?
It's fine.
My name's Skip Claypool for the county recorder or transcriber. I wanted to comment on the wage study and the treasurer's office situation, and I want to thank Carolyn and Ralph for making the right decision. I think that was the right decision. The way you handled that was well done. I do have a couple of concerns in listening to the conversation, and that is the criteria being used to assess salary increases, and these are pretty significant salary increases, doesn't align with my experience in terms of hiring and firing people. The whole, and Ralph hit the nail on the head with this, the whole concept of tax collection has no bearing on what somebody's being paid. They're being paid to do a job. They're being paid in a position. They have a position which have job responsibilities and duties and hopefully a job description. That job has a certain value in the marketplace, whatever that value happens to be. And so to assess a 10% increase across the board for any particular group of people is inappropriate. Each individual position has a value, and those values should be evaluated individually, and each individual performs differently. So if you give it 10% across the board, you may be giving raises to somebody who's an underperformer, and that's based on the overperformers. Now, in the case of the treasurer's office, I have experience with them. I think they all do a great job, so there's no, I'm not casting aspersions there. But I also have a concern that the salary hearing was outside of the budget hearing. The proper place to have a salary discussion is in your budget hearings, and to avoid the budget hearings and try to do that after the fact raises a concern for me, generally speaking. So, and we certainly don't assess the value of what we pay people in Geauga County because Lake County chooses to overpay their employees. I'm not saying they are, but I'm using that as an example to say you don't judge what we pay people in Geauga County by what other counties are doing. That's a good benchmark or a reference point, but the value of employees in Geauga County is what it is, and we have a responsibility to the taxpayers to pay only what you need to pay for people to be employed to do a particular job in Geauga County. And that's just my 2 cents worth, whatever that's worth. Thank you for the way that you've handled this, and I'm looking forward to your ultimate decision. Thanks.
Any other public comment? Okay. Any report from the Health Board?
We will have the August 13th meeting in conjunction with the Health Issue Advisory Council, and that'll be, the commissioners are invited to that as well, obviously. That's for the current hoarding issue that we're experiencing throughout the county. Just had a discussion with the local subdivisions.
Thank you.
Your name?
Adam Whitney, Health District.
Adam, what was it?
Litke.
Thank you.
Hearing no more public comment, that concludes it. Nothing. Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.